How's it going, guys?
Hey guys.
We're live. Here we are. It's a good little mini episode here. We're just gonna talk briefly about what we thought about the Timberwolves.
Yeah, so this is our isn't this technically our first off-air
Yeah,
live show?
this is off air. We'll
So
call it a mini cast, I'd say.
yeah, so this is like a mini cast. So the NBA draft was just Wednesday night, and obviously we talked about it a lot, but we're Timberwolves fans, so it was like a holiday for us, and like
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of moves happened. We ended up selecting Anthony Edwards with the first pick, but we also had the 17th and the 33rd, but we kind of move those around to gain some new players, and we'll talk about that once we get more in depth. But first off, what did you think about the number one pick in Anthony Edwards?
I mean, so I called you right before the draft, and we were
Yep.
on the phone talking. Dude, it was the most nervous I've ever been. It felt like before like a basketball game again. Like I
Yeah,
was,
when that like little 5 minute timer was like when the Wolves were on the clock, like I wasn't talking to anyone. I was just sitting there all quiet,
no, like I seriously was getting the nerves. I was getting like butterflies almost. I
like
was
you
so
were part of the draft.
Yeah, and like I wanted us to draft LaMelo so bad. Just like I got myself so hyped up about LaMelo, but
Yeah,
but I was bummed out right at first. Like I was like, shit, like we messed up again. But after thinking about it and like what they always say, like wait a few days, like wait like 24 hours, 24-hour rule.
yep.
And you know what? Now I'm starting to like the pick. I think it was the best pick that we could have made as an organization. And I think that he's going to be a really good fit with our team. I mean,
I think
there's
so
some
too.
concerns, but overall, I'm happy with it.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. Right when they said Anthony Edwards, I was a little bummed out because like obviously we both wanted LaMelo to get picked, but then like you said, I thought about it overnight, and I'm like, yeah, you know what, he fits perfectly. We need a forward or a shooting guard to complement Malik Beasley and D'Angelo and Cat, and I think he's the best scorer in the draft for sure. No doubt in my mind about that. He is the best NBA ready body. He's 6 foot. They said he was 6'6" actually, and
No
230
way.
is what they just measured him as. He said he grew an inch during the draft process, so that's pretty cool actually. Um, I think what's really important for him is the Wolves don't have too many vets on their team right now. They're the youngest team in the NBA, so we definitely need someone to, kind of put them under their wing. I would want D'Lo or Cat to do it, but I just don't know if they're ready to have a guy like that yet. So I think maybe we'll talk about the Ricky Rubio trade. So I think hopefully he could be that guy. But I think in free agency, we definitely need to bring in a couple more guys that could kind of just compliment him and take him under their wing and show him the way of the NBA.
Yeah, kind of like Kevin Garnett when we brought Kevin Garnett back to mentor Cat.
Yeah, most
What about
definitely.
like Jamal Crawford? Is he still in the league?
He is still in the league. I don't know exactly what team he's on or if he's a free agent or not, but I think he was. If for people that don't know, he was a Timberwolves six man for a couple of years. And he was a great guy to have off the bench. So I wouldn't be mad about taking him back. But we also have to look at the cap situation because we don't have a ton of room after we just took the first overall pick.
That's true. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there's obviously a lot of people are saying that he doesn't even like basketball. So then that's automatic Andrew Wiggins comparison, and we don't want another Andrew Wiggins situation going on here. And the problem with that is like that I know that might not even be a true statement, or like it might have been taken out of context, but the Timberwolves have had problems with that in the past. That's why Jimmy Butler had to get out of here so fast because he thought the starting lineup was just a bunch of bums. Like
Yeah, definitely. I like it was part of that ESPN. They did an ESPN cover story on Anthony Edwards, and they took a part out of it because he was like a really good football player, but he got hurt, and yeah, he didn't even make basketball his primary sport until high school. So that should tell you right there that he's just oozing with potential. Because if we've played basketball longer than Anthony Edwards, so I mean like that's kind of crazy to think about. So I mean, like he's got a lot to learn, but like just based off of raw talent, I don't think there's a better prospect out there because that guy has everything to succeed. If he becomes a little bit more efficient, grinds, works hard, I don't see any reason why he can't be another star.
All right, so let's make a hot take right here. So say in 1 year we're gonna come back, or at the end of the season we'll come back and look at this exact moment. What are your predictions for Anthony Edwards, and what do you think at the end of the year we're gonna be thinking about him as a player?
I think he's gonna be one of the leading scorer rookies because I think that's just the way he plays. He's a scorer. That's his number one trait about him. He's a scorer. So I think he'll average more points than LaMelo. Um, I think the injury to James or to Klay Thompson could potentially. I don't know. I think Anthony Edwards will be the leading scorer out of all the rookies. I think he'll average about 17, 18 points a game just because he's going to be pushed right into a huge role right away, and he's got the talent to do that, score 18 a game. So I don't know if he'll win Rookie of the Year. Wiseman, him, or possibly even Obi Toppin have really good shots to win Rookie of the Year. But I think he'll have a good season. I think we're going to be impressed with him. I hope he forms into that Donovan Mitchell type player. I think that'd
Okay.
be a great spot for him.
See, I'm torn. I think there's a chance that we could be going Anthony Bennett route here. A small chance. I think there's a small chance about that.
Yeah.
I think he's going to start out slow. That's my prediction. I think he's going to start out slow, and it's going to take a bit for the whole team to get going.
Yeah, I think you're definitely right about that. I think we saw glimpses of horribleness before the All-Star break last year with that Wolves team, obviously. But once we got D'Lo, we actually, for people that don't know this, D'Lo and Cat only played in one game because
No
Cat
way.
got hurt. Yeah, so they played against the Raptors. Was their only game they actually played together, and they barely lost to the Raptors. They were up most of that game, and the Raptors made it to the East Finals? Or was it the East semis? I think maybe the East semis. But they won the championship the year before too. So it's a very good team. And I think just D'Lo and Cat alone on a team running pick and roll can be a very successful team. But if you put another huge scorer around him, a big star, I mean, I don't see any reason why they can't compete for the eighth seed.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So we already got the big two. We got Cat and D'Lo, but D'Lo's only an 84 in 2K.
Don't even get me on that. That is just a travesty that man's only an 84 in 2K when Fred VanVleet's an 85 and D'Lo's an 84. That's just a travesty.
Seriously though, because I feel like if I made a my player right now, I could get him up to an 84 in like 2 months, in like a month.
Yeah, in my league, he goes to like a 91 overall after like a year.
Like he's a very solid
People forget he was an all-star in Brooklyn. He averaged 23 points. Like I didn't really get the 2K rating, honestly. That was a pretty bad rating.
Well, what would you rate him?
Right now, I give him an 87, and I think he'll probably prove that he's even better than that. I think he could be an 88 or 89 by the end of the year.
See, for me, I put him at 88 right now.
88 right now. Yeah, I mean, he's one of the best point guards in the. I'm not going to say he's top 3 point guard in the league because that's reserved for Damian, Kyrie, and Steph. Yeah. But he's definitely a top 6, 7 point guard in the league for sure.
What people forget about D'Angelo Russell is that he's such a good passer.
Yeah, he's an awesome passer.
I'd say passing is probably his best skill.
Yeah, passing and playmaking. He's a very good passer and playmaker.
And people think of him more as like a shooting guard. So that would have been the problem with having him and LaMelo on the same team. Is they're both great passers. Like I would almost say D'Angelo Russell is like a pass first player.
Yeah, he definitely looks to spread. He's more so of a scorer, but he definitely looks to pass the ball every single time he's in the pick and roll before he shoots that thing.
He's a great pick and roll player. So like, I don't know. So I do think that Edwards is going to get a lot of.
He'll get a lot of So I think last year what the issue was with his like inefficient shooting is he was the one taking the ball up the court and he was the one coming off the picks and trying to hit these contested threes. But I think like setting him up on the wing or the corner and D'Lo kicking it out to him, I think he'll be pretty efficient.
No, yeah, it's like that's the same with like so many players. Like when they're in high school, they're the guy. Mm-hmm. When they're in college, they're the guy. Like when any team played Georgia this year, they only were focused on Anthony Edwards. So now you put him on a team with Karl Anthony Towns and D'Angelo Russell. Now this is where he's either going to break because he's used to being the guy and he's not going to be the guy anymore, or he's going to thrive because now he's going to have so many more opportunities because either he's going to be able to pass the ball more because he's going to get double teamed and he'll be able to find other guys that are just as like talented as him.
Yeah.
Or he's going to be getting open shots because the defense is going to have to direct themselves up elsewhere.
And I'd bet on Thrive. I mean, at Georgia, I was reading a lot of teams played a box and one against them. They just stack the paint and have someone follow him the whole game. And I think that was really hard for him because he's a great inside scorer, but they kind of forced him to shoot a lot from the outside. So I think having him and he got double teamed every single time he touched the ball. That's just the way it was.
And that's not going to happen in the NBA.
No.
That never happens in the NBA. Like they don't even do that.
Too many people to worry about.
Yeah, everyone in the NBA is a good basketball player.
Yeah, I think he'll definitely be a beneficiary of not having to have the ball in his hands all the time. I would love to have him play make a little bit too, but just not as much as
you put him
for sure. Yeah,
you can put him at the 1 and put D'Lo at. Why not?
Yeah,
why not have him bring the ball up a few times?
Oh, definitely.
See, I'm excited. We just got to. So let's talk about the big move. Ricky.
So the big move. Yeah. So I think. So the deal was we traded originally the 17th, and so we traded the 17th to somebody, and we got back the Knicks pick. And wait, hold on. So we traded the 17th. So the picks we had in this draft were technically 1, 17, and 33, but they ended up being 1, 25, and 28. So we got Balmero from the Knicks. That's Ricky Rubio. Yep, that's a young Ricky Rubio. So the players we ended up getting were Leandro Balmero, who is the Argentinian guard from Barcelona, who's probably going to play another year overseas. And then we got Ricky Rubio in the trade with the Thunder. And then the last player we got with the 28th pick was Jaden McDaniels, who was the one I was super high on before the draft, and I actually wanted them to get possibly even at 17. So I think that was awesome getting him at 28.
Yeah, I'm just it's kind of like, for some reason, I think Minnesota sports fans do it best. I think we always have the best like welcome home parties. I feel like almost like when we get a guy back, we just like it's almost sad because like Ricky Rubio was on the team when we were at the lowest of low, the lowest the Timberwolves have ever been. Ricky Rubio was there.
And for the people who don't know, him and Johnny Flynn were the ones we selected before Steph Curry in the 2009 draft.
Yeah, and I almost think he gets the short end of the stick. People like look at there's always that picture the Timberwolves had 2 picks before Steph Curry.
Ricky Rubio is I wholeheartedly agree. Johnny Flynn was terrible. He was a bust. Yeah, but Ricky Rubio, like, averages 12 throughout his career. One of the, if not the best passer in the league, if not. Yeah. And he's a great playmaker. He plays out a pick and roll. He has amazing court vision. The passes he makes, if you guys haven't seen it, look up like Ricky Rubio passing highlights. They're actually absurd.
Yeah. Oh, he's a phenomenal player. And like, so what did we get him with the 5th or the 6th pick?
We got him with because was Curry the 7th, so we must have got Ricky with the 5th, and then Johnny Flynn with the 6th, I believe.
So as a 5th pick overall, and I don't know what year he's in of his career, but he averaged 14 and 8 last year.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's all and that he's gonna be our 6th man. So like, just imagine a 6th man of that quality.
Now we're bringing him in off the bench. So like, he gets this. I think he's had a great NBA career.
Yeah.
And he's done exactly what he was supposed to do. He wasn't supposed to come in here and average a bunch of points. He's a pass first point guard.
He sets up. He makes everyone else on that team better. Even though the Timberwolves were pretty bad throughout those years, he made them look a lot better than they actually were.
And I don't know. Especially with, I think he could even be a great mentor for Anthony Edwards coming in. He's got that veteran experience. He's going to teach him. He knows what it's like to come into the spotlight young. When Ricky Rubio, because he played overseas a few years, I think, before, because we drafted him when he was like 15 almost. He was super young.
Yes.
Don't quote me on that. But he was super young, and he played overseas for a few years. And then when he finally came to Minnesota, it was like the savior. The savior was coming to Minnesota, and then so he knows what it's like being the savior, because Anthony Edwards is the savior right now.
Yeah, and I think it's great because the Balmero pick too. Ricky Rubio played at FC Barcelona, and him and Balmero are very alike in their passing and their playmaking. So I think Ricky Rubio would be a great mentor for Balmero, probably once he comes over next year too. And hopefully, I wouldn't mind getting another Ricky Rubio with the 23rd overall pick. Like I think that'd be an awesome deal. And
Oh well, yeah.
I think Jaden McDaniels maybe a year in the G League and see what happens. You know, it's a
House.
okay. Because I wasn't my Wi-Fi is on full bars here, so I don't think.
I switched. I'm just gonna be on my hotspot whenever we go live
Okay, sounds good.
because
All
it's
right.
even it's way more clear now.
Yeah, definitely, it definitely is.
All right, guys. So we just had some crazy technical difficulties here. Luckily it wasn't live. Um, but yeah, I mean that's gonna happen with technology. You can't trust it ever.
Nope, you really can't. I kind of forgot where we were too. I think I was talking about Jaden McDaniels or something like
Yeah,
that.
and
But
we were talking about how like picks that you make in the late rounds, like it's okay to take a risk on like a late pick like that because
definitely.
yeah, why not? Why not just take the biggest chance you can take? Because it
Yeah, I
keeps
mean, like you hit a grand slam with Jaden McDaniels, and he's the next Kevin Durant. You know, you strike out, and he sucks. Like he's in the G
that's,
League, so I mean, why not?
that's okay, yeah. And so he was the number 5 player in our class, right?
Yeah, he was a 5-star prospect, lottery pick. When he went into college, like projected lottery pick, top 10 at least, and he didn't. He played behind a very good player, and Isaiah Washington at Isaiah. I think it was Isaiah Washington at Washington, and
No, Isaiah Washington is Jelly Fam.
oh yeah, what's his name? I'll have to do some research here, but
Is Isaiah Whitehead or something? No.
Isaiah. Hmm.
It's definitely not Jelly Fam. Jelly Fam.
No, it's not him. It's not him.
He goes to Iona now.
Oh, does he actually?
Yeah, he transferred. The
Let's
Jelly
see.
Fam himself.
Isaiah Stewart. So yeah, so Isaiah Stewart actually got drafted before him in this draft. So I think that was partially the reason why um
He fell.
he wasn't scoring a whole ton because he wasn't taking on the bulk of the points. So I mean, it could if it pans out, that's great. We fill in a 4 that we need a power forward, and he's literally the epitome of what a modern day 4 should look like. A big 6'10" guy who can shoot and dribble the
Yeah.
ball.
I mean, I might get on Team Josh McDaniels.
Maybe.
I feel like he might, dude. He like Jimmy Butler was drafted. A lot of guys are drafted late that end up making huge
Oh, you
impact.
talking about you mean Jade McDaniels?
I don't even know his name. Jaden McDaniel.
Jade
Who's Josh
McDaniels.
McDaniels? That's some NFL player.
I think Josh McDaniels is a football player.
No, Jaden
Yeah, Jade McDaniels.
McDaniels. That's my guy.
Yeah, I'm on the hype train for him. I'm sold. So I think honestly, I thought the draft was really good. I think we filled the needs we needed. I think we got a bench, we got a perimeter defender, which is exactly what we needed. We got a great 6-man, Ricky Rubio, and I think we drafted the best players going to fit the best with us. And um, the front offices have a lot more info than we do, a lot more tape, a lot more analytics. So I mean, I'd trust them a lot more. So I think Anthony Edwards could be a great player.
All right. So, what are your predictions for the 2020-2021 season for the Minnesota Timberwolves?
I mean, there could be a little bit of bias in here, but so actually the NBA is implementing a play-in this year again, a play-in tournament. I don't know if you saw that.
No.
So the 7 and 8 play each other, and the winner of that automatically gets the 7th seed, and
Yeah.
then the 8th seed will play the winner of a 9th and 10th seed. So it'll be 2 teams fighting for the A seed, which is kind of cool. It reminds me of the wild card game
Yeah,
from
for
football.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
So I think
Is it a
that could be
one game?
awesome.
Is
It's
it a
one.
1 game series?
It's either a 1 or a 3-game series. It's
Probably
not a
3.
full 7. It's probably a 3-game play-in series. I mean, that's awesome. I think there's no reason why we can't make the play-in game. I think my projection, I'm going big here. I think Anthony Edwards is going to pan out and be a scorer for us this year. I think we can make the 7th or 8th seed.
See, I was gonna say 6th seed.
6th seed, okay.
I think we
So
got.
since you have us rising, who is then falling in the Western Conference?
My NBA knowledge is not at your He's not at your level.
I could see maybe like a do you think a Portland could fall out?
Yeah, I could see a Portland fallout. It's hard. It's hard not to. Let me look at the standings from my. I think the Suns are going to be a problem. They're
You
going to
think
be
the
good.
Suns might make the? I think the Suns will make the six-ish seed. I think they'll be a playoff team
See, yeah, the sixth seed is very high.
because you're gonna have to compete with like the Dallases of the world,
Yeah, dude, but we like okay,
Pelicans,
if we don't make the play-in, so that means we'd be the 11th seed. That's
the
like
10. I think the 10th seed. So I mean, the 10th seed would be a drastic improvement from
not
the
big.
bottom of the. I mean,
Yeah,
like it'd be
but,
better than the bottom of the conference. But yeah, I think it's. I think we. I'd be disappointed if we didn't at least make the playing game this year.
all right. So I think the Thunder are going to fall.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's a great one. Thunder will definitely fall.
The Thunder for sure are going to fall. I
Yep.
mean, I don't. All right, well, I'm going to pull it up on the screen so we can get some of your insight too.
Yeah, I just don't remember the top 8 right ahead of me. Okay. So I can see. I don't know. I'm not as high. The Rockets are gonna
Rockets,
fall. The Rockets will
Rockets are going
fall
to fall.
out. I think
Thunder,
possibly the Thunder will for sure. So right now we have Rockets, Thunder, and possibly the Jazz. I mean, I don't know. The Jazz lost a couple pieces, so maybe the Jazz. So there's 3 spots that open up. So I mean, we're gonna have to beat out the Pelicans and the Grizzlies and the Suns. So those are 3 teams that I think have a good shot of making the playoffs along with us. You know, that's tough because the Western Conference is just so good, man.
I know it sucks. It sucks being in the West, but like just looking at that, like so we have a lot of well, and the Warriors. The Warriors are going to be good again.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of teams to compete with, but I mean, our starting roster I think is going to be good. A lot of guys that get a year of experience last year for sure.
All right, so I'm gonna reseed. I think if we can make the play in, I think that'll be a good goal for this year.
Yeah, definitely.
And then we can build off that. Next, and we're gonna build on that. Edwards will be coming off his second, and then I mean free agency. We gotta make a big free agency play
Yeah,
here.
I mean,
Too, right?
like you think so when the year we had where we made the A seed with Jimmy Butler, we were actually the 3 seed until Jimmy Butler got hurt.
Yeah,
And that was pretty much just Jimmy Butler and Cat
right. So now you add D'Angelo Russell and
or Anthony Edwards, and I mean
Ricky.
yeah,
Yeah,
and Ricky too. That's a great team.
it's tough. It really is tough predicting this stuff, especially because being a Minnesota sports fans, we want us to be high, but I mean I don't know. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna
most
go.
definitely.
I think we can get that eighth seed. I think that should be our goal for the year.
I
Get the eighth
definitely think
seed,
so too.
probably get a first round exit in the playoffs, but then build off that next year.
Build
Maybe
off
get a
that,
big
definitely.
free agent,
Yeah,
and
for
then by
sure.
that time, Edwards is gonna be into his own, and he might be the best player on our team.
Yeah, who knows, man. So I think last segment we should do draft grade. What do you give ourselves in the draft?
So does this include like trading for Ricky?
Yeah, the whole draft.
I give us a solid B plus. With I think we did what we had to do. I think we made, but obviously it's hard to do a draft like grade like without seeing any of the results of what's going to happen. But I think right now, I think we did everything right. I don't think there were really many mistakes that we made, but we didn't make any like huge draft picks that like would bump us up to an A.
Yeah, I think I would probably say B plus or A minus. I think we filled in with hopefully a star, hopefully a third star on our team. It's looking like he's going to be a great scorer in the NBA. So I think we hit on Anthony Edwards. I think getting Ricky Rubio in itself is a awesome job by Gerson to get us that good passer and 6-man. Jaden McDaniels, if he's a home run, probably increase the draft grade a little bit more. And Ballmero's a project, but we don't need point guards right at this moment. So I really liked it.
Yeah, and as a Timberwolves fan, I'm excited. We're getting a little excitement going into the new season, and that's exactly what we need, especially with the season starting so soon, which is kind of crazy to think about.
Yeah, for sure. I'm super excited. It's a month and 2 days until the season starts, so I can't wait.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing a lot of Timberwolves coverage for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
I've never really followed the Timberwolves that in depthly, but I think this year is probably gonna be the most I'll follow it ever.
Yeah, that's awesome for sure.
But yeah, nice little mini cast here. We had a few technical difficulties, but we'll edit that out. And yeah, we got an episode coming Monday night, correct?
Yes, Monday night we'll have BASSHOLE episode. Is it 5?
Episode 5. No
We'll
guest this time.
yeah, no guess. I think we're gonna go over a lot of the NBA draft, and we're just besides the Timberwolves, I think we're gonna give every team a draft grade, go over their picks. I think that'll be pretty interesting to hear.
Yeah, for sure. Super excited, man. Good quick talk. I'll talk to you Monday.
Yeah, for sure, man. See ya.